42.2 kilometers. In 6 months, that is how far we'll be running in one day. I signed up for the Yokohama Marathon this October with some good friends, and in this video, I'll share a bit about what I eat, what I drink, and how we train to get ourselves ready for the big day. Hey friends, if you're new here, I'm Ciara. I am a certified nutritionist on a mission to help make nutrition and wellness feel simple, practical, and something anyone can do. If that sounds good to you, please feel free to subscribe and check out the other videos in this channel. If you're interested in joining a long-distance run as well, or maybe you're just curious about how to prepare for one, this video could come in handy. I'll be covering 4 key areas: nutrition, hydration, gear, and running strategy. So first and foremost, why is nutrition and marathon training important? Is it even important? The answer is yes. It's not just important, it's crucial. What you eat directly impacts your performance, your recovery, and your long-term health. Carbs give you the energy to power through long runs. Protein helps rebuild muscle after those long runs. And since long-distance running can temporarily weaken your immune system, foods high in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants can help keep you healthy. Without proper fueling, you run the risk of fatigue, sluggish runs, and maybe even injury. In short, you can train hard, but if your nutrition is off, you won't reach your full potential. It's like putting low-quality fuel in a high-performance engine. It just won't run right. So on training days, I try to follow 5 main guidelines when it comes to what to eat. First, focus on whole food. These are foods in their natural form that are minimally processed and have little to no preservatives or additives. We're not talking about ultra-processed red hot dogs or fast food chicken nuggets with over 10 ingredients. Think one ingredient whole foods like chicken, eggs, spinach, broccoli, apples. Keep it simple and make the most of their nutrients. Second, around 30 minutes before a run, I have a light carb source. Carbs are the body's primary source of fuel, so this is what you want to focus on before a workout. I'd usually alternate between a banana or dates since those are the most convenient. Or sometimes I'd make energy balls, which are really good and work for batch prepping. I'll share the recipe in the comment section if you're interested in making them yourself. After the run, the priorities are carbs and protein. Protein is important for recovery and muscle maintenance since our muscles tend to break down while we run. Then carbs are for replenishing the energy that we burned. Lately, my friends and I have been running late afternoon, so our post-run meal would fall on dinner time. This is an example of a post-run meal. We have soy garlic salmon and edamame for protein, rice for carbs, and carrots and cucumber for vitamins and crunch. Then to top it off, some sriracha mayo and everything but the bagel seasoning. If you're also Filipino, you'll probably want a Filipino rice meal, and that will work too. The other day, my husband and I had dinner in our friend's house after our run, and they served chicken adobo, egg, and rice, and it really hit the spot. Then for the other meals, which in my case would be breakfast and lunch, I focus on keeping them balanced. That means having a mix of protein, whole carbs, fiber, and healthy fats. Breakfast is usually light for me. A sample breakfast would be a tomato and cheese sandwich with whole wheat bread, which has a good mix of carbs and protein, plus an orange for fiber and vitamin C. Then in the morning, I would also have kefir milk mixed with collagen powder for skin and gut support. For a sample lunch, we have a loaded beef bowl which is really flavorful and balanced. It has ground beef with a bit of taco seasoning, chickpeas for extra protein, some lettuce, cherry tomatoes, and corn for fiber and carbs, and a cheese dressing for extra flavor. The 5th guideline, which is optional, is to have an extra snack anytime throughout the day. Ideally, it should add to your protein and fiber intake. For example, if you think that you didn't have enough protein that day, you can supplement with a protein shake or a protein bar. Or if you want to add fiber to your day, you can snack on an apple or any other fruit. So your next question might be, how will I know if I've had enough protein, fiber, and calories? In my case, my goal is to maintain my weight, so my target calorie intake per day is between 1,800 to 2,100. I'm considered an active individual, so my protein goal is somewhere around 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So with my weight of 98 pounds, I should be aiming for around 78 to 98 grams of protein per day. And for fiber, the recommended intake by the US Institute of Medicine is 25 grams for women and 38 grams for men per day. So those are the numbers I keep in mind, especially during training days. Now, you don't necessarily need to track your macros or be obsessed with hitting them every single day. That would be too stressful. But it will help to keep your own goals in mind and have a basic idea of how much food you'll need to achieve those goals, so you can just eyeball the portions whenever you have a meal. If this is a lot to take in, I have a simplified one-page nutrition guide for marathon training. If you're interested, I'll link it in the comment section so you can download it for free and check it out. Next is hydration. I only have 2 guidelines for this. First is to aim for at least 2 to 3 liters of water per day, which is standard knowledge. Second, for days when you go for a long run, add electrolytes. Your body loses key minerals through sweat, especially when running for long periods, in hot or humid conditions, or at a high intensity. Adding electrolytes will prevent dehydration and support your muscles. So when I run 10 kilometers or longer, I'll have a coconut water or a colorless sports drink to replenish those minerals that were lost. Next is gear. What I like about running is that it's such a low-maintenance sport. You only need a few basic things and you're good to go. Of course, you need a pair of good running shoes. They should feel light, fit well, move well with you, and have a bit of a cushion to protect your feet. These are my current training shoes. They've been very used, as you can see, but they've been great so far. Very light on the feet, they make running easier, and they're pretty durable. I will buy a new pair of shoes for the marathon itself, maybe a few months prior, so I'll have time to break them in. You'll also need socks that are on the higher side. Ankle socks can cause chafing at the back of your ankle, which is a big hassle while running. Also go for socks that are not too thin and not too thick. Then I have a belt bag that doesn't move when I put it on and jump around. It can fit my phone, keys, and water bottle, and it compresses the tummy, which is a bonus. And other optional things, a cap for extra sunny days, and a smartwatch which I can sync to my running app so I can track my progress while running. And that's it. We've only started training around 6 weeks ago, so I can't say that we're experts, but the advice given to us by those who have run marathons is to run regularly and progressively. This means that not only should you run consistently, let's say 2 to 3 times a week, but you should also gradually increase the challenge of the run as your body gets fitter and used to running. This can be in the form of going longer distances, having quicker paces, or doing intervals, alternating between jogs and sprints. But for those who are starting out, I think it's key to start where you are physically. When we started, we were active in other ways, but we weren't really big runners. We started by jogging around the village for around 5 kilometers at a steady pace for a few times until it became easier for us. So for those who have no physical activity but want to start running, the ideal way to go about it is to try a shorter distance first, maybe 2 kilometers at a steady pace, and check in with how it feels. Running is an endurance sport. So as you keep doing it, it will get easier to run a baseline distance and then go a bit farther, go a bit faster. But it has to be done gradually, not from couch straight to 10 kilometers. We're also aiming to sustain our momentum by joining shorter running events here in the Philippines. 2 weeks ago, we joined a 10-kilometer fun run in our area. It was a lot of fun, it got us in the marathon mode, and now we're working with a 10-kilometer benchmark in our training. In a couple of months, we'll probably sign up for a 21-kilometer run, so we'll see how that goes. Now, we try to run 3 times a week. We do 1 long run, right now that's 10 kilometers, and 2 shorter runs to increase our total mileage and endurance. We're still in early stages, so we'll see how we progress in the next few weeks and months. Other tips for training: always warm up before and stretch after a run to prevent injury and recover faster. And try to add strength training to complement the cardio from running. Muscles could break down while running, so strength training will help build up those running muscles and develop a lean, defined look. Right now, I do weighted Pilates at home twice a week. I'll probably switch back to weights in the gym when I get the chance, but for now, weighted Pilates will do. A full marathon is something that has been in my bucket list, but I wasn't in a rush to achieve it. I ran the half marathon, which is 21 kilometers, in Singapore back in 2022, And I think once you run that distance, you'll want to run the full one eventually. But I didn't really plan to do it until this year, 3 years later, when my friends decided to join the Yokohama Marathon and invited me as well. And my husband, who ran the exact same marathon last year, has been very supportive and encouraging and has actually been running with us while we train. He said that less than 1% of the world has completed a full Mary. It's a huge personal milestone and something you can always be proud of. Right now, I'm nowhere near ready to run a full marathon, but signing up for it was the first step, and that was a big enough push to say that there's no turning back. They say that running a crazy long distance is a mental game, and it truly is. But to be honest, the motivation that I get right now comes from running with a group of good friends. It makes training just a bit easier and something I actually look forward to. Running alone is another story, but I guess each person has their own way of entertaining themselves, whether it's listening to music, an audiobook, or a podcast, or even just enjoying nature without other sounds. So that's it for today's video. If any of you guys are in your running era, drop some of your tips below. I'd love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more nutrition, wellness, and motivation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.